Several companies have undergone such rebranding exercises for internal restructuring to effectively represent their range of products and services. However, at times firms shed their names to shake off bad publicity, scandals, or negative associations. Long-term business failure or change in cultural values also precipitates a name change. In some cases, companies change their name to avoid legal hassles like trademark violations. Here's a list of some of the biggest brands that have changed their names in the past. According to one expert, rebranding is often used to update a company's name to reflect cultural changes in consumer behavior or values, as when Kentucky Fried Chicken became KFC, dropping the fried as consumers increasingly looked for healthier choices. In other instances, brands rename themselves after mergers or acquisitions to signal a new direction or to distance themselves from negative publicity. One of the world's biggest tobacco companies, behind brands like Marlboro, facing legal action and public relations disasters, Philip Morris decided to rebrand as the Altria Group in 2003. Some argue that the rebrand was clearly a move to distance the company from its bad publicity, and therefore simply highlighted the negative image still further. It has been 6 years since the search engine, that is now considered a verb, changed its name from the widely known Google to Alphabet. The reasons, luckily, were not triggered by a mishap by the company, but were completely due to company's vision to expand its arms into various other ventures. The company, witnessing its growth, decided to put the minds of investors at rest by making its operations and acquisitions more transparent and streamlined. And that's where Alphabet was born. Currently, Alphabet shelters various enterprises under its umbrella, including DeepMind, Fitbit, YouTube, and of course, Google. British Petroleum became BP in 2000 to become more aligned with the environmental conscience of the masses. But the move seemed puny, since an oil company cannot really do much when it comes to taking care of the environment. The company's vision was to correct its image by changing the name, and as a result, the logo went haywire due to several oil leaks and explosions that revealed the facade behind which the BP thought it could hide. Back in 2007, when Apple changed the consumer technology landscape with the launch of the all-conquering iPhone, it also changed its name to better reflect what it was producing. Apple dropped computers from its name, and although Apple Mac computers and laptops are still in demand, it's the iPhone that continues to bring in the revenue, even though it cannibalizes the market for its popular iPod digital music player in the process. Apple has sold more than 2 billion of its smartphones. A decade ago, when DVDs were still a thing, Netflix provided a DVD service by Post, when Post was still a thing, as well as its burgeoning movie streaming business. It decided to try to differentiate between the two services by changed its legacy DVD delivery service to Quickster. Customers didn't like it, and neither did investors, with stock falling by half its value before Netflix performed a rapid U-turn. It has not looked back since, and currently has more than 200 million subscribers. Initially, Instagram founders Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger named the PhotoSharing app Burb with a focus on location sharing, earning points while check-ins and post-event picture sharing for iPhone users. However, the app failed due to several complicated features. It was then tweaked, and the app was finally reborn as Instagram with a focus on the PhotoSharing aspect. In 2010, a food directory came into being called Foodie Bay. After 2 years, the company rebranded to Zomato. Currently valued at over $3 billion, Zomato recently made headlines by acquiring a stake in Uber Eats. What Twitter was and what it's become is a wonderful journey. The story goes that ex-Googler Evan Williams had a startup called Odia. It was going to be a podcasting platform. Evan asked his friend, another ex-Googler named Beastone, to join him. When Apple launched iTunes podcasting and made Odia's podcasting platform irrelevant, Evan and Bees and an Odia employee named Jack Dorsey decided to create something called Twitter instead. And on March 21, 2006, Dorsey sent out its first tweet, reading, "Just setting up my TWTTR." After a long legal battle, the world's biggest wrestling company was forced to change from WWF to WWE. In 1994, the wildlife preservation charity insisted that the World Wrestling Federation sign a legal document restricting its use of outside of America. However, the wrestling company ignored their agreement, which led to the legal battle, and finally in 2000, Vince McMahon's company rebranded his company World Wrestling Entertainment, and it eventually came to be known simply as WWE. In 1984, Research in Motion was founded as a wireless data technology developer in North America. In 2013, it changed its name to BlackBerry, its most popular smartphone device, with a hope to revive the declining brand. Nike, known as Blue Ribbon Sports, Nike was originally a distributor for Japanese shoemaker Onitsuka Tiger. It later changed its name to Nike, which is the name of the Greek goddess of victory. So, why does Facebook rename itself as Meta? Coming to name change, when CEO Mark Zuckerberg talked about in the company's annual Connect conference on October 28. It is meant to signal the tech giant's ambition to be known for more than just being social media and all the ills that entail. The rebrand would likely position the Blue Facebook app as one of many products under a parent company overseeing groups like Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus, and more. Facebook already has more than 10,000 employees building consumer hardware like AR glasses that Zuckerberg believes will eventually be as ubiquitous as smartphones. In July, he told that, over the next several years, we will effectively transition from people seeing us as primarily being a social media company to being a metaverse company. A rebrand could also serve to further separate the futuristic work Zuckerberg is focused on from the intense scrutiny Facebook is currently under for the way its social platform operates today. A former employee turned whistleblower, Frances Haugen, recently leaked a trove of damning internal documents to The Wall Street Journal and testified about them before Congress. Antitrust regulators in the US and elsewhere are trying to break the company up, and public trust in how Facebook does business is falling. Finally, Zuckerberg said, "Our mission remains the same, it's still about bringing people together. Our apps and our brands, they're not changing either." That's it for the video. If you feel the content valuable, hit that like button.